Have you ever just felt buried in legal paperwork? Wondering why on earth it's all so complicated and, let's be honest, so expensive? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. So today we're going to dig into a platform called Structure. It's trying to change that whole game by automating the law. Let's dive in and see how they're pulling it off.
So why is legal paperwork still so broken? I mean, seriously, it's a question that's a nightmare for businesses everywhere. We live in this world of one-click solutions for everything, right? But somehow, legal documents feel like they're stuck in the dark ages. It's slow, it's expensive, and it is incredibly risky. And that is the core problem we're going to unpack. All right, before we jump to the solution, let's really get a feel for the problem. For most businesses, making a legal document isn't just a simple task. It's a total maze, a labyrinth of hidden costs, confusing turns, and risks lurking around every single corner. And this maze really has four huge, imposing walls. First up, you've got the sheer, soul-crushing grind of manual work. You know what I'm talking about? The endless copying, pasting, checking, and rechecking. Then there's the total lack of standardization. This just throws the door wide open for inconsistent language and, you guessed it, really costly mistakes. Third, the legal landscape is always changing. A new regulation can pop up and poof, your standard contract is useless overnight. And finally, the big one, the absolutely crushing weight of external legal fees for stuff that really should be simple. It's just a broken system, plain and simple, and it is so overdue for an upgrade. And that's where Structor comes in. Look, this isn't just another piece of software. It's a fundamental rethinking of how we even handle legal documents. It's a system that's designed to literally tear down the walls of that maze we just talked about and carve out a clear, simple path straight to compliance. So how does it actually work? Well, the whole system is built on four really powerful pillars. And the key here is how it blends smart automation with real, honest-to-goodness human legal expertise. First up is something called the TRCP graphical editor. You can think of this as the brain of the whole operation. It's where legal experts actually embed their knowledge, but not into some static Word doc. No, they build it into a smart, reusable template. So for example, a lawyer can create an employment contract that automatically adjusts clauses depending on if the employee is full-time, part-time, or even remote. Super smart. Next, there's the compliance verification engine. Okay, think of this thing as a legal guardian angel, just constantly watching over your documents. So when a new labor law gets passed, for example, the engine doesn't just send you a little warning. Nope, it flags every single affected contract and can even suggest the exact wording you need to stay compliant. That's a game changer. Third, we've got the intelligent generator. And this is where the magic really happens. It takes those expert-built templates and your specific details, and it just creates flawless legal documents on demand. You need to generate, say, 50 vendor agreements? You just feed it the data and bam, out come 50 perfectly consistent, totally error-free documents in a matter of minutes. Not hours, minutes.
And finally, continuous updates. Now this is absolutely key because it's not just about code. There's a team of real human lawyers constantly refining the system's templates. They're keeping them sharp and perfectly aligned with all the latest legal precedents and regulations. It's that perfect blend of human oversight and machine efficiency we talked about.
Okay, so those are the building blocks. Now, let's see how they all come together in a super smooth, simple workflow. One that basically transforms those legal headaches into, well, legal peace of mind. For you, the user, the whole process is just 4 simple steps. It all starts with the expertise that's already baked into the templates. Then you're taken through this guided process. You're just answering simple questions. As you do that, the system is verifying everything in the background, in real time. And then out comes a perfect compliant document. Seriously, that's it. It really is that easy. All right, the technology is obviously impressive. But is it a good business? Let's talk about the money. We're going to look at the numbers, and we'll start with the absolutely massive market opportunity in just one country, Poland. The potential here is, well, it's staggering. Just in Poland alone, there are 5.3 million businesses. We're talking everyone from freelancers all the way up to huge corporations, and every single one of them could benefit from this. That is a huge and largely untapped market.
And here's the thing, you don't even need to conquer the whole market to be a huge success. Structure is aiming for what seems like a really modest 1% of that market, but that tiny 1% still translates to a massive 53,000 customers.
So what does that 1% of the market actually mean in terms of money?
It translates to a projected annual revenue of 6.3 million euros. That's an incredible return on what is, let's be real, a very small slice of the potential pie.
The business model itself is also really smart and flexible. If you're an individual or a small firm, there's a basic annual subscription. If you have a very specific need, you can just buy an individual template. Got a really tricky situation? You can book time with an expert. And of course, for the big corporations, there are custom enterprise solutions. So they've basically got an answer for everyone.
And the financials behind all this are just as impressive. We're talking about a lean startup model. It needs a €2 million investment and has surprisingly low operating costs. With that, they're projecting to break even in just 5 to 6 years, and then explosive growth is expected to follow.
So what's next? What's the plan for the future? Let's take a look at the roadmap they've laid out to turn this groundbreaking idea into a global success story.
They've got a super clear 26-month plan to make it all happen. It's very methodical, a real step-by-step approach. You can see it starts with analysis and design, then moves into development, a really crucial pilot program, and then finally the full-scale commercial launch. It just feels like a solid, realistic plan for success.
So when you boil it all down, what's their secret weapon? What's the competitive edge? Well, it's a few things. It's massive cost savings for customers. It's guaranteed legal compliance. It's a highly scalable SaaS model. And, this is a big one, it's a future-proof architecture that's already built and ready for the AI and LLM revolution.
Really, the secret sauce is that unique blend of automation and expert oversight we keep coming back to. It's not about replacing lawyers at all. It's about empowering them with incredible technology, letting them focus on the high-value strategic work instead of all those repetitive tasks. And that is a powerful combination that's going to be really hard for anyone to beat.
You know, as we've just seen with Structor, even the most complex, knowledge-based jobs aren't immune to this wave of automation. It's completely transforming them. And that, of course, leads us to a much bigger and maybe a little unsettling question. Is any profession truly safe?